Hello friend, I am going to discuss with you chapter number 6 science class physical and chemical chains. Every day you come across many chains in your surroundings, such as sometimes you will feel that the change is occurs through the property of the substances, like as sometimes you will feel that substance is changed through the physical property, like as color, shape, size, density, amount and volume. Sometime like as if I will say about the example of that, you take a paper and cut into a 4 squares. What is happens here? The change is being occur of the shape of the paper. Then this is also a types of change. If I will say about a second type of change, that you take a and collect chalk dust that is laying in the ground of classroom, and collect that and put some drops of water and mixed well and make another type of shape through that. Then it is what? It is also a change of the shape of chalk. Then it is also a type of change. If I will say about the another type of example, then you take a tumbler and put ice on that and leave that for 2 and 3 hours in sunlight. You will feel that the state of ice is being changed and it is converted into a liquid shape, and it is also a type of example, type of change. For experience of change, we take water and in a pot and boil that and hold an inverted pan on that. You will observe that water bubbles is collected on the surface of inverted pan, which is also a change. And a big change that can you experience through your everyday life. Take a hexa blade and one end hold that through a pair of tongue and another end you burn that. You will feel that the color of hexa blade is being changed into a red color. What is this? This is also a change. Then different type of change you can experience through your everyday life. Sometimes the change that is occurs in substances, that is physical property change, and such type of change is called a physical change. Which type we count in physical property, and you can see it in this picture: color, shape, size, density, amount, volume. These are the property of physical property. When the change that is occurs in substances is being happen to that in regard of color, shape, size, density, amount, volume. These are the property of physical property. And when the change is occurred through their physical property is called a physical change. Then these are the example of physical change. Some in activity number first, when we cut the 4 square of a paper, then the size of a paper is being changed here, like as it is shown in this picture. That what is this? This is the papers, and when we cut the paper into a 4 square, the shape of a paper is being changed. Then it is an example of physical change. Whereas when we collect a chalk dust that is laying under the floor, then in the floor, that it is also a change that is occurs of the shape of chalk, and it is also a type of change. When you take ice and leave that for 2 and 3 hours in sunlight, the state of ice is being changed. Then it is also comes in property of physical property. Okay. Now, when you take a hexablade and one end you burn that, the color of hexablade is changed into a red color. Then this is also here the color of hexablade is changed. Then the substance where the change occurs through their shape. Then it is also a part of physical property. Then what is actually a physical change? A change in which a substance undergoes a change in its physical property is called a physical change. Physical change is sometimes reversible. How? When you chop up to a wood into a small pieces. So it may be happen that you make a wood like as previously. You can make this. Then it is also a type of a physical change. Then sometimes physical change is reversible, but sometimes it is not possible. One thing is important if I am saying about a physical change. In physical change, no any substances, new substances is formed. Then like as it is, these are the example of a physical change. Like as breaking glass. Whenever the glass is break out, the shape of glass is being changed. Then it is an example of physical change, but there are no any new substances is formed here. Then it is an example of physical change. Mixing candle. Whenever you take a candle, waxes of candle and mix that, it is also a part of physical change. Shading paper, floating paper. When you are floating the papers, it is also a type of physical change. Melting ice means the state of ice is being changed here. And it is also an example of physical change. Chopping wood. When you chop the wood, then the physical property is changing here. That's why this is the part of physical change. Cutting hair means the shape of hair is being changed here, and it is also a part of physical change. Then these are the different type of physical change is shown in this picture, and I think that you have learned and you have understood the topic physical change. Sometimes, actually, property of physical property is what? When the change is undergoes in its physical properties such as shape, size, color and state of the substances, this type of property is called a physical property and such type of change is called physical change. Okay. And now we are going to discuss with you, I am going to discuss with you a next change name is chemical change. Actually, chemical change is a change when the new substance is formed and the character of a substance is fully different from previous substances is called a chemical change. Like as sometimes you will feel that some iron made things like a chair, table. It is the iron made. Uh, it is a different type of things that is made of iron, and you will feel that when such type of things is being kept outside your rooms and it makes a contact with iron and water, a browny film like a structure is appear there. What is this? This is also a rust. It is also an example of rust and this process is called rusting. Okay. Sometimes you will feel that such type of rusting is damaged your iron substances, iron equipment. Like as you have heard about a ship that is always live in a sea. The surface of ship makes a contact with a water and air and it's convert into a rusting and it damages to ship. That's why the process globalization is being done there whenever every years. What the process is globalization? Actually, this is the process when we make a coat over the iron. So that may be the coat is being can be in form of zinc and another substances. Actually, usually zinc is being coated over the iron and this process is called galvanization. Then this is the example of a rusting you can see in your everyday life. You see here, when the water make a contact with iron in presence of oxygen is converted into a iron oxide, brown film like deposit that is appears on our iron. It is also a process of rusting. And galvanizations is as it's most commonly is a process of applying a protective zinc coating to the iron or steel and it prevent to rusting. Then these are the process by which we prevent the process of rusting. Sometimes you have heard that a water pump is made of iron, and steel. And when the water come through that, the rusting is being appears there. And for preventing of rusting, we coat the zinc over that, and it's prevent the process of rusting. Then these are the different type of example that you can experience through your everyday life. These are the usually things. Okay. Then if I will say about the process of chemical change, then we take another type of example. In this example, we take a strip of magnesiums, okay, and burn that. You can see here. Burn that. If the strips is burned with white light. And when it burns, it's convert into a white ashes. And when you collect these ashes and put and dissolve in water, a new type of substances is formed here that the name is magnesium hydroxide. And when we test this character, we observe that the character of magnesium hydroxide is base. Then what is this? This is also a type of chemical change. For understanding of chemical change, we take another type of example. In this example, we take a bowl or a beaker and fill 2/3 of a beaker with water and put a sulfuric acid. Okay, means sulfuric acid on that and dissolve 1 tablespoon copper sulphate means Nilathotha on that. You will feel that the color of solution is being converted into a blue color. We take a shaving blade that you can use for a shavings and put into that and leave that until the color of a solution is being changed. And what you will feel that after some time the solution color is converted into a green color and on the blade a brown deposit is collected there. What is this? Here copper sulphate solution, blue solutions, when react with iron, it convert into iron sulphate, green solutions, and copper, brown deposit is being appeared on the blade. Then this is also a type of chemical change. Sometimes you will feel that whenever the chemical change is been going on, the hissing sound and gas is passing through. For understanding this, we take one example. We take 1 teaspoon of vinegar and in a test tube and add 1 pinch of baking soda on it. You will feel that bubbles is come out from that and a hissing sound is being appears there. You will hear the hissing sound. Then what is the gas that is coming through the reactions, the name of this gas is carbon dioxide. And when the carbon dioxide we take and pass through a press line water, it converts into white solution, whitey solution. Then what is this? The white solution is calcium carbonate. Okay, calcium carbonate, CaCO3, and water is being resolved here. Then it is the different type of chemical chain that you can experience through your everyday life. Then what things is very important here, whenever the chemical change is being occurs, the new type of substances is being formed. Like as you can see in this figure that you take a wood and fire it, and after that what do you collect? A white ashes. And if you take a lemons and cut that into a different part, then here the shape of lemon is being changed. Then it is a process of physical change. Then different type of change is being offered in different situation. Then what is a chemical change? A change in which one or new substances is formed called a chemical change. Now we are going to discuss with you that what is the character of physical or of chemical change. Sometimes you will feel that whenever the chemical change is being going on, the light, heat and sound is being produced here. What is this? This is a character of chemical change. Sometimes you will feel that the color of substances is being permanently changed. It is also a character of a chemical change. Sometimes you will feel that the taste of substances is being changed. Then it is also a property of chemical change. Sometimes it may be temperature is being changed. So, for example, whenever your mama says you said milk in form of a curd, the color taste is being changed into a sour, and smell is also changed. Then this is also a change property. This is also a change name, each chemical change. Sometimes you eat some things and digestion is being processed. Then new type of substances is formed here. Then it is also a type of chemical change. Then these are the different type of chemical change I have discussed to you. Now, one important thing that is described in this chapter name is crystallizations. How the process of crystallization is being occurs in your everyday life. Then okay, then crystallization process. Sometimes you will feel that, and you have already learned about the process of getting salt crystal through a sea's water. How? When evaporation of sea waters makes a crystal of a salt. Then it is the picture, it is so here that it is how we collect a crystal of salt. For understanding the process of crystallization, we take our beakers and put 1/3 of water in it, fill 1/3 water in it, and drop 1 or 2 drop of sulfuric acid. Then its color is being converted into a blue color, and boil it and take a copper sulphate powder and dissolve the copper sulphate powder till it's become it's till it is not being more powder is being solute in this solution. After that, we cool this solution and separated separated the liquid from that, and we get the copper sulphate crystal on the surface of beaker. Then it is also a process of crystallization, and crystallization is a process that you can experience from your surrounding. Now, I think that you would understand all the topic that is related to this chapter. If you have any doubt, you write in comment box. I will give a reply as much as possible. Okay. Now, we are going to discuss with you a question answer of this chapter. First question that is shown in this picture is photosynthesis is a chemical change. Dissolving sugar in water is a physical change. Okay. Burning wood is chemical change. Okay. Melting wax is a physical change. Okay. Beating aluminum to make a aluminum foil, it is a physical change. Because I have already discussed with you the characteristics of chemical and physical change. Digestion of food is chemical change. Then it is the different type of change that is given in your exercise, and you can identify this change through their common sense. Okay. Now our second question is which is false and which is true. Okay. Cutting a log of wood into a pieces is chemical change. No. It is clearly no, because I have already discussed with you a wood we cut into a pieces is physical change. Formation of manure from a leaves in physical change. Yes, sorry, physical change. No, this is a chemical change, means false. Okay. Now next questions that is shown in this screen, that iron pipe coated with a zinc do not get rusting easily. True. Iron and rust are same substances. False. Condensation of steam is not a chemical change, because here the state of things is being changed, that it is true. Then when the carbon dioxide is passed through lime water, it turns into a milky due to formation of calcium carbonate. Okay. The chemical name of baking soda is sodium hydroxide. Two methods by which rusting of iron can be prevented is first galvanization and second is painting. Change in which only a physical property of substance is changed is called a physical change. When the new substance is formed, it is called chemical change. Then these are the different type of. Now our next question that is shown here, that when the baking soda is mixed with a lemon juice, bubbles are formed with the evaporation of gas. Which type of system? It is a chemical change. Okay, and here the sound is being produced, then it is also a character of chemical change. Then, okay, now our next question that is shown in this screen, that when a candle burns, both physical and chemical change take place. Identify this change. Give another type of example of familiar process in which both the chemical and physical change take place. Then when you burn to candle, the wax bags that is here, these bags, if these bags melt, then the shape of bags is in changing here. Then it is a process of physical change. But when after the burning of candle, the carbon dioxide is generated here. It is a process of chemical change. How do you do so that the setting of a cord is a chemical change? Because after the setting of a milk is converted into a cord, it is fully different from their previous textures or a state, means milk. And also it's the taste of milk is been converted into a sour, and texture is also changed, and smell is creates here, produced here. Then it is the characteristic of chemical change, and it is a process of chemical change. Okay, our next questions that have explained why burning of wood and cutting of wood in small pieces are considered two different types. How? Because burning of woods convert into a ashes. Ashes. And ashes is a different type of substances that we get through the burning of wood. And although when we chop out to woods into a small pieces, then it's here the shape of wood is being changed, means the physical property is changing here. That's why this type of change is called a physical change. Describe how crystal of copper sulphate are prepared. We take a tumbler or a beaker and fill with 1/3 of it with water and put a sulfuric acid on 2 and 3 drops of sulfuric acid in it and boil it, and take a copper sulphate powder and dissolve it till the more powder is not dissolved here. And after that we cool this and separated a liquid through it, and what we get on the surface of beakers, this name is copper sulphate. Okay, now our next question that is so here, then how the painting of iron get prevent its rust? Because you know very well that what is the causes of rusting. When the iron make a contact with water and air, that it's convert into a iron oxide. Then what is this? Actually, when we coated and painted to the surface of iron is prevent to make a contact with water and oxygen. That's why it is a process by which we prevent the process of rusting. Okay, now our next question that is shown in this screen, what is this? When the gas we use, okay, in kitchen, name, you know that the name of this gas is LPG. When the cylinder when it comes out, it is normally leaves in cylinder, and when it's come out through the cylinder, it's become a gas. Then here two type of things. First is it becomes a gas and it's burned. Then which statement is true? Here B is chemical change, because after the burning of LPG it converts into a carbon dioxide. Then it is a chemical change. Now our next question that is shown in this that is shown here, that anaerobic bacteria digest animal waste and produce biogas. So production of biogas is a chemical change, you know, because here new type of substances is formed and the biogas convert burn into a fuel. It is also a different type and both are chemical change. Then what will be options here? That both are chemical change. Then these are the different questions we discuss here and we have discussed here, and I think that you would understand all the chapter that is related, all the topic that is related to chapter. And I am going to wrap up my session here, and I will meet with you in new chapter with new concepts. Okay, thanks.